Hello and welcome to Ageless Rock. This channel is about megalithic sites with a different perspective. But you have to wear megalithic lens so that we can be on the same page. Today, we're going to check out an interesting monolithic church in Ethiopia. It is a top-down rock-cut church with no history. In the northern part of Ethiopia, in the region of Amhara, there is a district called Meket. In the district of Meket, there is a village no one knows anything despite having one of the many amazing monolithic rock-hewn church in Africa. The village has a name I'm not even sure how to pronounce. I would just call it Nazugn. This underground top-down rock-cut bedrock church is located at the very west of Meket district, or locally known as Woreda. If you are in Meket district, you might want to drop by Babinja and check out a small complex of top-down rock-cut churches. It is called Dagmawi rock-cut churches. Here, you can see 4 mini-sized top-down rock-cut churches carved into the bedrock. After visiting Dagmawi rock-cut churches, you can take a ride to Jineta Mariam rock-cut church, which I made a video you can find in my Ethiopia playlist. It is another subterranean top-down rock-cut church very few would visit on their vacation. Since you have already visited these 3 smaller top-down rock-cut churches, you might as well visit the famous 11 rock-cut churches of Lalibela. At Lalibela, you get to see 6 monolithic top-down rock-cut churches and 5 other churches carved in and around the bedrock. Pretty amazing for primitive lifestyle civilization with primitive tools almost a millennium ago. This level of accomplishment is insane, and to say it was made with only one tool, the chisel, is insane at galactic proportion. To give you an idea of the entire area, from east to west of Meket district is about 80 kilometers long. But within this area, you can see 12 top-down rock-cut churches. That is insane no matter how you see it. Even more insane is that no one is seeing it. From far, this church doesn't look like something that stands out as a monument of interest. In fact, it doesn't even stand out. It stands inside the bedrock because it was created by removing bedrock around it. It is also known and written as hypogeum. This church is very lacking in attention from government and archaeologists. So far, restoration seems like a responsibility of the pious local communities around the area. Scholars seem to lack interest on this ill-forgotten monolithic church. With 95% population being Orthodox Christian, it would be a natural thing to recycle this as a church. The false windows are clues to the original ancient builders. Just like any megalithic culture around the world, we have false windows and doors that make no sense. As far as design is concerned, we just call them false doors and windows, but it is common design at megalithic sites around the world. You can find them all over Peru and Angkorean city of Cambodia. If Cambodians knew what false doors and windows are for, they are already dead by now, and the knowledge buried in the grave due to systematic elimination over decades of Western academics' influence. False windows like these ones are usually perceived by those who believe in beings from another dimension as portals to another dimension. However, you will hear the reason for this is because it is unfinished. But if this is unfinished, there should be chisel marks all over. The niche-looking window at the yellow box is definitely unfinished, but it looks like it was done with a method that softened the bedrock and carved out like clay. The interior ceiling has chisel marks which mainstream will use it to conclude it was carved out entirely by ancient Ethiopians. But the grooves are bright red while the roof seems to be blackened as if it was covered in soot. It is only convincing up to the point where humans were at some point in history involved in chiseling the roof. Whether this is a 1400-year-old tool mark remains to be proven. This rectangular structure, 15 meters long by 10 meters wide, standing at 10 meters high, is very lacking in history and is waiting for European archaeologists to tell the Ethiopians what happened here. In the meantime, Ethiopian Orthodox Christian devotees were filling up the gaps and holes to make the monolith useful for sermons on a weekly basis. There are monthly and yearly celebrations, and January 29th is the most important day when believers flock to celebrate St. Mary's Day. This church looks like an unfinished project at first glance, but it also gives me an impression that it was badly eroded. The locally restored sections with stones and mortar is clearly not what the European archaeologists would have in mind to be considered international standards. At a glance, this site gives an impression that it is very old, but yet some parts are like new and made not too long ago. The edges of this part of the wall in the blue box seems to suggest it is quite unaffected by weathering and doesn't feel like it has been around for more than 1,000 years. Let's make a simple comparison of construction history. In the 13th century, Italians built Siena Cathedral, pretty impressive accomplishment approximately 700 years ago. It is awesome and achievable since the materials are manageable in size and volume. Nothing mysterious about it. But that is nothing compared to Ethiopians smacking bedrock with ancient chisels constructing Nazugn Monolithic top-down rock-cut church. There are about 150 rock-hewn churches in Ethiopia, and I have covered 12 Ethiopian monolithic churches. You can find them in my channel under Ethiopian playlist. To make matter even more unbelievable, Africans in Egypt already completed 3 colossal pyramids about 3,000 years earlier. If Egyptians sailed to Europe upon completing the pyramids, Europeans would have learned how to stack megaton blocks and build cathedrals as big as Khufu's pyramid. If Ethiopians were to reach Italian shores, there would have been top-down bedrock cathedrals. Unfortunately, every time Europeans showed up and asked who and how it was built, the locals always say they don't know. So, the scientific Europeans will later tell the locals who and how it was done. Well, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this short presentation on Nazugn Mariam Rock Cut Church. See you in the next video and have a wonderful day. This is Berniong signing out. Dehe Nahun.